My name is Jason Ward. I'm a writer and columnist for Windows Central. And I'm here today with Gregory Murphy.
How you doing?
He is the president, CEO, and founder of the only Windows Phone company created for Windows Phone fans. And he's the self-proclaimed biggest Windows Phone fan.
That I am.
Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself. This is your first time on camera addressing your potential audience, and I'm sure they want to know something about you. What can you tell them?
Well, I guess I can start out with I have a career in technology for the last 20 years or so, as I said before in some of our podcast episodes, I've sort of been deeply involved in Windows and Microsoft for much of my career, at this point, a couple of years ago, I thought, why not, being a big fan of the Windows Phone platform, why not start a company? And then when they had made this announcement back in February of 2014, I thought, this is a great opportunity. And I started researching it and come to love the idea and started doing more researching and started to snowball. And then in late that year, I signed on, I created the company, got some key partners involved as far as our current team. And we went ahead with becoming an OEM with Microsoft, and sort of the rest is history from there in terms of our foray and push into this market.
Okay, so there's been a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
When I first became aware of you, there was a press release last summer, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And there was an anticipated meet and greet that was supposed to happen at the West Farms Mall here in Connecticut. That didn't happen. There was a lot of excitement. So what's been happening?
There's quite a bit that's been happening. So last summer is when we finally found the right design and phone for us to launch with, and the excitement around that was had been building for us for quite some time to really nail down what we wanted to come to market with. And in that current year, we had actually we had gone to Mobile World Congress, not as a fan, but as an actual company, looking to make the right partnerships. We had met with Microsoft before, but we met with a specific team at Mobile World Congress, and we also spent time with several manufacturers there when we were there. So the anticipation and excitement that we had at that moment was such that we felt we were ready. And then a couple of things happened after that announcement. One of them was we were certainly presented with many new opportunities with going public. Several countries wanted to participate in our launch. We had Microsoft PR was involved at that point. We had contacted representatives of several stores around New England and New York, and so the first meet and greet was sort of rethought because of all of these new participants in the process, and it was changing our message a bit, where we were no longer just us. It was a lot of participation from the other countries. We felt we really needed to, as I think we put a tweet out that said, additional partners coming on board. We have to really rethink this.
All right. So the slowdown was because of some positive things.
Yeah, all of it was positive. There were a couple of sort of topics around the way of that Microsoft PR really wanted us to think through also. And so we were very interested in what they have to say. We talked with mainly up until that point the Microsoft OEM team. And so when Microsoft PR got involved, they actually had some great suggestions for us.
All right. I do also remember, I believe it was also late last year, there was some production slowdown at factories.
Well, there was a couple of things. So when there's some ups and there's some good points and bad points about being new to the market. One of them is understanding the production cycle in China. So there's a big push up until the sort of U.S. Holiday season, and then there's a lull.
Okay.
And at that point it's really hard to get things done.
Okay.
And then the second part of that, it just goes right into January, where there's a major holiday in China, and like literally everybody's off the air for a couple of weeks. So the combination of those two things sort of Microsoft OEM team actually warned us.
Okay.
Like, this is coming, and we're like, it won't be that bad. And so that was some of the
Just slowed you down.
yeah. So yeah.
Okay. All right, but you've pushed through.
Yeah, we're still pushing.
All right, and now this is real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, WhartonBrooks,
Yeah.
your attempts to bring a Windows Phone to market is genuine.
Mm-hmm.
There's been some skepticism, as I'm sure you know. As
Yeah, we read everything, so we see it all out there. Yeah.
Right. And to give a little validity to the validity of your claim and your endeavors, you did give us a tweet of some bubble wrapped devices not too long ago.
Yeah.
Which is exciting for some, frustrating for others.
Yeah.
But it was something.
Yeah. It was a moment where I wanted some assertion or some guarantee that it's in the box and coming.
Right.
And so the representative that we were talking to, who sort of was in charge of that process, sent me that picture saying, yeah, it's in the box.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, this is cool. So he actually didn't even send us an unbubble wrap picture.
Wow.
So that's the only picture I had at the
That's
time.
your head.
I was like, this is great. So
Okay.
we just tweeted it out, and it was where we went with it.
All right. So we're here today because there's a little more you'd like to say to your potential market,
Mm-hmm.
the fans,
Mm-hmm.
which is your market. You're not
Yeah.
trying to convert the iPhone or
No.
Android
No.
people.
Yeah.
Your target market is Windows Phone fans.
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay. Now you won't mind if anyone switched, but of course your market is
Yeah.
Windows
Yeah.
Phone fans.
So that is our primary goal at this point, is people that enjoy that platform, who enjoy the user experience of Windows on phone. That's our market.
Okay. So this is your moment to
Mhm.
sort of address your market. What is it you would like to say today?
So, with our market, there are millions of fans.
Sure.
We have a small niche market, but it's still
Mhm.
millions. So, and the fans of this particular group, I think, are really vocal and passionate to buy this platform. So, as I said before, to that end, and my excitement and enthusiasm for the platform, we said, let's create a company. So we did that. And one of the things we've been saying as a mantra throughout this whole process is that we wanted to create a company. For me, if I had a company that was focused on the platform, that would be working day and night to create new experiences. One of the things we talk about in these experiences is we want people to create, to have fun, and go on adventures with their Windows Phone. And that's sort of a process that we've gone through the whole thing, and who we collaborate with, what partners we bring into our fold, are all built around those three principles. So today we're excited to announce that this is our moment.
All right.
This is our moment to celebrate our fandom, to bring to market something that we all can rally around and get excited about. And so to that moment, I want to announce that we have the Cerulean Moment,
All right.
the actual phone itself.
So this is the phone
Yes,
that WhartonBrooks
yes.
is bringing to market.
This is it. And you it's kind of far away, but some of the things that you'll notice is that there's a sort of aluminum bezel around the edges, and then it sort of goes at a 45-degree angle all around, and it sort of has this sort of twinkle when you look at it. It also has a Gorilla Glass front and back. There you can see the logo along with my fingerprints, probably. This is a pre-production model where it's fully functional. so you can, see all the bells and whistles that you have there. And it also, it's a Continuum capable phone. And I guess I can talk about some of the specs.
Yeah, sure.
Should we do that now?
Let's talk about some of the specs.
Okay, so with this model, we have, let's start with the memory.
Okay.
So it has 3 gigabytes of memory that come on board, and it has 32 gigabytes of storage.
Okay.
In the slot on the side here, it actually has a micro SD card and the SIM tray are all in one.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, we have the microphone jack, the headphone jack on top, and a micro USB port on the bottom along with the speakers.
Okay.
Volume markers on the left-hand side, and the power buttons on the right.
And how big is the display?
The display is 5 inches.
Okay.
And it's actually really thin and light.
Do you know the weight of this
I
device?
don't know the weight
Okay.
off the top of my head. It is, well, you could feel it.
All right, this is my daily driver is a Lumia 1520, and this device is much lighter than that device. I also carry with me a Lumia 1020, and this device is certainly lighter than that device as well. I like the display. It's as you say, it's 5 inches.
It's 5 inches.
What's the resolution?
It's 1280 by 720.
1280 by 720. What type of battery life does this device have?
So I give battery life as an example, and I get out of the car at 8:30 in the morning, take it out of the charger, and the tests I've done, I can go the whole day and not charge it on the way home, and walk in the door at home at 6:30, and it's at 40%.
So it goes through only 60% of its battery life throughout the day.
Yeah, and I don't have a charger for this one at my my day job. And I do have one I need one for my 950 XL,
Okay.
but I don't need one for that one at work.
All right. Now I also noticed that this has the virtual navigation buttons.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the virtual navigation buttons first showed up, I was really disappointed. But having used them on the 950 series, on this phone and all the other models that we've tested, I've come to love them.
Okay.
I love them for a few reasons. One is when you're playing games, there's no accidental button taps.
Okay.
And I also like the same thing with videos and stuff when you're doing stuff. There's no accidental button taps.
Now, what's the chip in this device?
This is if you want to geek out on this is Snapdragon 617
Okay.
or 8952.
Which is the minimum for Continuum.
Right.
Okay. I noticed you also said this is 3 gigs rather than 2 gigabytes.
Right. So we upped the memory on there from 216 to 332,
Okay.
mainly to make sure the Continuum feature works as we want it to work.
What does that mean to you?
For me, when we talk about the spec war, it's really important for us that it's not just about the specs; it's about the experience.
Okay.
And people say the specs are a sort of a proxy for what the experience would be. So we spend a lot of time with all of the phones that we reviewed to make sure we had the right kind of experience that we wanted. So what it means to me is that when you're streaming a video from your phone and you're within 10 feet of your television, that you have that's either capable of receiving Continuum as like a wide-eye device that's in the TV,
Right.
or any number of devices, the Microsoft Display Adapter, the Screen Beam Mini 2 Continuum Edition, some of the devices that we are working with ODMs on, that you can do those two things. So on your phone, doing email, texting, playing a card game, and watching 30 Rock, and you have smooth video, good sound,
Right.
and be able to do things on the phone. So that's the experience that we were looking for.
Without a hiccup.
Without a hiccup.
And that's been successfully tested on this device?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so just so I can reiterate, you can stream from this device a video, Hulu, YouTube, and play maybe an intensive game such as Asphalt.
Yeah, we were able to do that. The only hiccups that you get are the overlapping sound. So
Okay.
if you're playing a game, you have to turn the game sound off
Okay.
and sound effects off because it'll mess up your experience on the TV.
All right.
The things that are the most successful are when the video is on the device. So if you download a season of 30 Rock or whatever on your device, it's magnificent then.
Okay.
It's when you're streaming on Hulu. We tested Hulu, CBS, PBS,
Right.
the TV and movies and TV app. I'm sure there's others. I think those are kind of in my mind, but all of those had a great experience when we were using the device.
And I also heard you specify a 10-foot sort of radius.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that we did was we wanted to see what the experience was when you're when you're living.
Right.
So as long as you're within 10 feet of the television, you're in good shape. And when you start to move out of that is when you really start to get a lot of hiccups.
Now, in my discussions with you, I'm aware that you have many Windows phones here.
I do.
Right? And a few of them, have Continuum capabilities.
Yeah.
Now, have you tested the similar circumstances, similar scenario with those devices and this device?
Yeah.
Do they?
So we just to give you an example, we tested the 950, 950 XL are the two main devices that we spent a lot of time with. And then we have other devices that we've tested that are ODM specific that we've tested with.
Okay.
And so there's not a lot of difference that we've found between the 950 XL or 950 and this device when doing the Continuum.
Okay.
It's if you're playing Asphalt or Dodo Pop, or I'm trying to think of other games I really love playing. Disney Magic Kingdoms. That's kind of hard to play at the same time because you need volume for that.
Okay.
But you get an idea that it's a really great experience when you're working through that.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a great phone. I think it's a nice phone. And I've noticed also your insignia on the back
Yes.
is a Cerulean.
Yeah, Cerulean Warbler.
Cerulean Warbler.
Yeah, his name is Homer, is the name of our logo.
Okay.
Because we're going to bring it home.
All right. I hear you. All right. Well, this is the Cerulean Moment,
Yeah.
and this is WhartonBrooks Moment, introducing the Cerulean
Moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Greg,
You're welcome.
and congratulations.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
We hope for great success for
We do.
your company.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot.